At night, a car accident occurs on the Brooklyn Bridge. Henry Lethem is sitting next to the burning vehicle, staring blankly ahead, then stands up and simply walks away. That same morning, psychiatrist Sam Foster wakes up in his bed. He plans to propose to his girlfriend, Lila Culpepper, and meets her before work. She teaches visual arts. Henry Lethem is displeased that Sam Foster is becoming his new therapist, even if, as Sam insists, it's only temporary. Henry would have preferred to continue therapy with Dr. Levy, but it seems she referred him to a colleague who specializes in difficult cases. Sam already knows that Henry is a third-year student at an art academy. Henry is here because he set a car on fire on the Brooklyn Bridge, but he has no memory of what happened. He insists he didn't want to hurt anyone. Suddenly Henry cuts the session short, saying he must get home before the hailstorm. All day this strange young man won't leave Sam's mind, something Lila clearly notices. The scars on her arms are a reminder of the past, when she used to harm herself. Out of nowhere, the hailstorm begins. Henry is riding the subway, smoking a cigarette, which angers one of the passengers since smoking is prohibited. The man demands he put it out. In response, Henry begins acting erratically. Sam leaves a voicemail for his colleague Beth Levy, asking to talk about Henry Lethem. This prediction of hail strikes Sam as odd, considering there was no mention of it in the forecast. Lila thinks it's nothing more than a coincidence. The next morning Henry shows up at the clinic, even though he has no appointment. Sam jokingly asks if he's considered a career in meteorology. Right now Sam only wants Henry to be completely honest, otherwise he can't help him. Henry admits that he constantly hears voices. Sam asks him to write down in a notebook what the voices are telling him right now. Sometimes Henry can't tell which voices are real and which aren't. Before leaving, Henry confesses to Dr. Foster that he plans to pass away voluntarily at midnight on Saturday. Sam realizes he can't ignore this, but Henry suggests they talk about it later. There are still 3 days left. Sam decides to consult with Dr. Wren. Even if they commit Henry to a hospital right now, sooner or later he'll be released, so that's not a long-term solution. That evening at home, noticing Sam is troubled, Lila asks what's wrong. But Sam avoids answering, leaving another voicemail for Beth Levy. She still hasn't called back. Sam knows Beth is exhausted. Lila says this is New York, everyone's exhausted. Sam admits that his patient intends to end his life at midnight on Saturday. He can't understand why that specific date. Lila hugs Sam, telling him he can always talk to her. During a lecture at the art academy, Henry is unaware that Dr. Foster is watching him. At some point Henry leaves the class shortly before it ends. The doctor and the patient run into each other in the hallway. Sam asks why Saturday in particular. Henry says he turns 21 that day. He has no family, his parents are dead, but there's a girl he likes, Athena, a waitress at a local cafe. Henry says he wanted to marry Athena, hinting that Sam bought the exact same ring for his girlfriend. Henry lost his. The guy feels there's nothing left holding him in this world. Moreover, he feels guilty for still being alive. Lila is unhappy with her new painting. She's also stopped taking her medication, believing she no longer needs it. The pills make it impossible for her to paint. Sam doesn't like that she made this decision without talking to him. She promises that the past is in the past. Lila can't erase her scars, but she can find the strength to move forward. At one point Sam thinks Lila called him Henry, although she insists she didn't. Sam plays chess with his blind colleague, Dr. Leon Patterson, and talks about wanting to propose to Lila. But he keeps putting it off, afraid she might relapse. Their game is interrupted by Henry, who recoils in horror upon seeing Dr. Patterson. Henry claims that this is his deceased father. Confused, Leon offers to finish the game later and leaves. Sam tries to calm Henry, saying he's known Leon for years and that he doesn't have any children. But Henry keeps insisting that this was his father and that Sam orchestrated the whole thing. He also blames himself for his father's death. Whispering incoherently, he quickly walks away. Sam follows him, calling for him to stop. Eventually Sam and several other doctors break into Henry's apartment, but he's gone. There's almost nothing there, and one wall is covered in the phrase "forgive me." Where did Henry go? Dr. Wren plays the voicemail messages and hears Sam's voice urging Henry to stay with him. But Sam never left that message. Dr. Wren is about to report to the police, but it's clear that it won't help much. No one is likely to care about a depressed boy. Sam intends to conduct his own investigation. Every time passers-by look at Henry, it's as if he's about to die. Sam studies all available information about Henry, including his student work. When he learns that Henry's favorite artist also voluntarily passed away at the age of 21, Sam sees a disturbing connection. If they manage to find Henry, Lila wants to talk to him, because she went through a similar experience. She might be able to help him, even if it goes against medical ethics. Unlike her, Sam has never been in that kind of state. Sam objects, saying he constantly treats people for conditions he's never experienced. But Lila insists that no one can understand Henry like someone who's been through the same. There was a time when she hated her own life just as much, but now she sees that the world is too beautiful to leave so early. Lila wants Sam to tell Henry exactly that, when he finds him. Dr. Foster sets out to search for the missing patient. Beth still isn't answering his calls. So Sam decides to go to her in person. Beth looks completely drained and is reluctant to talk. The man says he wants to know more about Henry Letham. Beth in turn begins to accuse Sam of violating medical ethics by crossing the line and starting a relationship with his patient, Lila. Noticing that Beth is mixing medication with alcohol, Sam leads her to the shower. Beth advises him to speak with Henry's mother, disregarding the fact that she is dead. Strangely enough, the psychiatrist manages to contact Mrs. Letham, but she almost immediately hangs up. So Sam drives to the address. The woman says she's been expecting him. He apologizes for the late visit and explains that he's here because of Henry. Mrs. Letham complains about her loneliness. Henry's dog, Olivia, is her only companion. Mrs. Letham acts as if Sam has been there before. Ignoring it, he asks if she knows how to contact her son. Her behavior becomes stranger and stranger. She keeps asking Sam if he hates her. Is that why he did it? The man is horrified to realize that Mrs. Letham is mistaking him for Henry. She hugs Sam, saying how much she missed him. Playing along, Dr. Foster asks what he usually does on Saturdays. What would he do on his 21st birthday? Mrs. Letham has no idea. Her son tells all his secrets to Athena now. Sam tries to get her address when suddenly the dog bites him. He goes to the hospital. Sheriff Keneally arrives to speak with him. The psychiatrist explains that Mrs. Letham is the one who really needs help now. It turns out that Sheriff Keneally knew Maureen Letham. They went to school together. He also attended her funeral. She died in a car crash along with her husband. Their house has been empty for years. But then who did Sam talk to? Meanwhile, Henry continues his surreal journey through the city, tightly interwoven with his nightmares. He balances on the edge of reality and madness. Sam begins to feel like the events of last Thursday are repeating themselves. Lila is immensely relieved when Sam returns. He'd been gone all night and no one knew where he was. The man looks disoriented, unable to shake the feeling that he's lived through all of this before. Lila tries to convince Sam to get some sleep, but he can't afford to wait. There's no time. Still, the man is completely exhausted, so he agrees to rest but only briefly. After a restless nap, Sam wakes to find a note from Lila. She's already at work. He also heads out and runs into Henry, who has shown up on his own, even though everyone has been looking for him. Sam says he saw Henry's mother and his dog Olivia yesterday. Henry insists Olivia died when he was 12. Sam no longer knows what's real and what's not. How does Henry see the future and know things he shouldn't? Dr. Foster pleads with Henry to let him help. At some point Henry mentions Lila, even though they've never met. Somehow he knows that Lila went through something similar. It was Sam who found her in the bathroom and called an ambulance just in time. Every second mattered. He repeats Lila's words, that the world is too beautiful to leave it so soon. But Henry says it's too late and walks away. Sam blocks Henry's path, not expecting him to be carrying a gun. Barely holding back tears, Henry says he's the one who took his parents' lives, and he's going to hell. Or maybe he's already there. Begging Sam not to follow him anymore, Henry walks away, but that doesn't stop Dr. Foster. He visits every cafe in the area, hoping to find Athena. It's already dark, and the search has yielded nothing, until in one of the cafes a waitress mentions that Athena recently quit, though they still attend the same theater group. The waitress agrees to give him the address, on the condition that the psychiatrist writes her a prescription. Soon Sam finds Athena and immediately explains who he is and why he's there. Athena confirms that Henry was a customer at the cafe where she worked, but they never actually spoke. She also mentions that she often saw Henry at a bookstore. Sam asks her to show him where it is. Athena heads downstairs and he follows her, but can't seem to catch up. The spiral staircase feels endless. At some point Sam stumbles, falls and loses consciousness. In this state, he sees strange visions in which his life intertwines with Henry's. When Sam comes to, everything resets to the moment he first meets Athena. Terrified he runs away, dropping the ring. Meanwhile, Henry breaks into Leon's home and asks why Mom isn't with him. But Leon insists that Henry has mistaken him for someone else, and says it's best he leaves. Henry says he doesn't want to leave, and he doesn't want to die. All he asks now is that the man he calls his father look at him. Confused, Leon asks Henry who he is. The guy replies that he's his son and after hugging him, leaves. Perhaps Leon, Maureen and Athena were in that car on the Brooklyn Bridge. The accident happened, this much is true. Sam goes to the bookstore. Even though it's already closed, he is allowed in. Dr. Foster asks about Henry Letham. The store manager shows him a painting Henry made. He had nothing to pay for the books, so he gave the painting instead. Sam wants to know what the books were and whether there are any left. The manager says no, they were used copies, and the author is no longer in print. Henry watches with sadness as Athena dances with someone else. She's a very talented actress. Meanwhile in her studio, Lila hangs a painting by Henry Letham on the wall. Suddenly Sam calls, asking how exactly Henry's favorite artist ended his life. Lila replies that it happened with a gun on the Brooklyn Bridge, on his 21st birthday. Sam tells Lila he loves her, no matter what happens tonight. At that moment Leon appears beside the phone booth, saying he always thought Sam had brown eyes. Leon has regained his sight, all thanks to Henry. Lila realizes that all the paintings in her studio are actually by Henry Letham, and she runs off. Leon tells Sam that the Buddhists were right about everything. The world is an illusion. Realizing time is running out, Dr. Foster rushes to the Brooklyn Bridge, knowing he won't catch a cab on a rainy Saturday night. Lila tries to get to the rooftop of the building, but there's a gate in the way. Henry knows he's meant to die, and he feels guilty for still being alive. Living with that is unbearable. At the same time Sam rides the subway, determined to stop the tragedy. There he sees Henry and starts chasing after him. But who will win this race? By the time Sam reaches the Brooklyn Bridge, Henry is already there, holding a gun. Dr. Foster admits he no longer knows what's real. As they talk, the world around them begins to lose its substance. He knows it's too late for him, and that Sam can't save him. Now Henry must finally wake up. Dr. Foster tries to convince Henry that he isn't dreaming. And if this is a dream, then the whole world is inside it. But Henry pulls the trigger anyway. This takes us back to the moment of the accident on the Brooklyn Bridge. All the people in this story, including Dr. Foster, turn out to be just bystanders to a tragic crash. Lila, a nurse along with Sam, provides first aid to Henry, but his injuries are fatal. Everyone else in the car didn't survive. As the ambulance approaches, Henry whispers, "Forgive me." Sam tells Henry that he's not to blame for the accident, there's nothing to forgive. His pulse quickly fades. In the final moments of his life, Henry sees Athena's face in place of Lila's and asks if she'll marry him. Out of compassion Lila through tears says yes. The other bystanders can't hold back their tears either. Everything that happened was just Henry's dying experience. He dies before the ambulance arrives. Dr. Foster and Lila silently watch as the body is taken away. Then Sam asks Lila if she wants to get a cup of coffee, saying he won't be able to sleep tonight.